Hi everyone!
Good evening, everybody.
Can you hear us?
Oh, great. Perfect. Thank you, Anna.
Perfect. So today we are here to talk about the French healthcare system and all the administrative procedures. But just to wait everybody to connect, could you please tell us where you are coming from and how long you stay in France? You can write it on the chat. Okay.
Canada, Germany, Hungary. Whoa, that's a lot of countries. Germany, Mexico.
2 years.
Brazil.
Okay, that's a long time.
Hi, Honshu from Germany, Italy, Poland.
Okay, so we can travel now. Just close your eyes.
And imagine. Unfortunately, I cannot speak all those language. Costa Rica, staying for the semester. Hi, Julia. I'm very sorry if I don't pronounce right the name, by the way. Don't blame us. We're
Okay.
French.
And could you please tell us the city you are in France?
Nantes.
Okay.
Oh, there's a big
Okay,
team of
no,
Nantes
no, no.
people. Paris, Bordeaux, Nantes. Oh my God, Nantes. You guys are like in a group here.
Okay, so Nantes is the place to be.
Okay. I hope you enjoy it, guys. Never went to Nantes.
Okay, so I think we can start easy. So just to introduce myself, so I am Laure and I am from SMENO company. So we are complementary health insurance and insurances for students, including foreign students, of course. So we can provide you with housing insurance, civil liability, travel insurance, and everything. And if you have any information, if you need, any information, just go on our website, but we will present you what we do and how we can be useful for you. And I let Ludivine present herself.
So, hi everybody. My name is Ludivine. I am from Dare&Go company. We are here today to help you and explain you with all the administration parts. So, the CAF with the housing, Amélie and social security in France, and some little tips that we will show you at the end. So, our main objective is to show you everything of that. So, if you have any question, you can join us on our Instagram, Dare&Go, or on our website. And we do some monitoring programs. So if you need some help with those, don't hesitate to ask us any question or come and send us a message to ask for some help.
And if you have any question during the presentation, don't hesitate to ask them on the chat, and we will answer them really as soon as possible if we have the answer.
Exactly.
But if we need to check, we will just send you the answer by email after the presentation, so just don't hesitate.
And yes, we are going to share the presentation afterwards.
Okay, so let's start. So we are going to start with your housing insurance for your apartment or your room. So it's mandatory in France, so you must get it. You need to show it to your owner. And if you don't get it, The owner can choose to not give you the apartment, so really do it fast. You don't need to have any bank account in France, so you can really do it as soon as you have your place in France. So the main goal of the housing insurance is to cover you in case of fire or water damage, and you can use it if you broke something in your apartment. So really, that's mandatory. And it's really not expensive. So as you can see, the first one is €34 for the year. So it's not the most expensive things in France. Okay?
And so to help you pay this insurance, we also have in France what we call la CAF, which is an institution that give some financial benefits to family and people, and also you guys, with what we call the APL. The APL is the financial assistance for housing, and it will help you pay your rent, and also it can give you a bit money to pay the housing insurance that is mandatory. Um, Concerning the APL, what you need to know is that you are eligible if you are a student, if you come from the European Union, and also if you are from somewhere else around the world. But to have this housing benefits, you need to have a contract of house that is with your name on it. So that is really, really important. And the second thing to remember is that you mustn't have any ties with your landowner. So it mustn't be your dad, your mom, your family, whatsoever. There are two main steps to follow to ask for the appel. First, you need to go on the website, and then you need to create your account on the CAF. And once you have done that, you can ask for your appel. If you are interested to knowing step by step how to do it, it's not the subject of this webinar, but you can scan the QR code, or you can come and ask us for some more information. There are 8 documents that you really need to have to ask for the APL, but you don't need to have it at the moment when you ask for the APL, okay? You can send them to them later on in the process. So the 8 documents are mainly the one you have, your passport, for the non-European citizen, your visa or your titre de séjour, your birth certificate that must be translated in France, a copy of your insurance, Amélie, or your European health card for the European people, your bank detail. That is really important. It should be a French bank account. That will make it much easier, and I will tell you that later. Your proof of school that you're studying in France, and your agreement of contract for your house. Our main tips, if you need to go to the CAF, no matter where you are, in Nantes, in Bordeaux, in Paris, go at the start of the day, 8:30, and arrive 10 minutes before, so you don't have to wait 2 hours in the queue. It can take a lot of time. Our second tip is submit for your APL as soon as you enter in the apartment, okay? Don't wait, otherwise you will not have the money from the beginning. It is not retroactive from your contract, but from the time you apply in the APL. Then one big important information is that if you have applied to the APL and you have sent in all the documents, if in 2 months or 2 months and a half you have no news from the APL, then that might be a sign that there is a problem in your files. So go there and ask them what is happening with your APL, okay? I'm going to go straight from the house to the health, because that's another subject that is important for you to understand. Can you just put a little thumb up if you know what is l'assurance maladie and what is Amélie, just so I know if I have to explain it a bit more? You can react on the chat. Okay. Let's say that nobody knows. I'll just go in that. Okay, so l'assurance maladie is basically the main coverage for all the French citizens and the people that live in France. It is something that is mandatory, and every people that stay more than 3 months in France have to be covered. It is free, and that is really nice to know. If you're from Europe, you don't need to be concerned about Amélie if you stay for 6 months or maximum 1 year. But if you stay for 2, 3, 4 years, then you should go and ask for your assurance maladie, and that you can do it on the website Amélie. What is good to know is that the health insurance registration is 100% free. It will reimburse up to 70% of your costs, but that Laure is going to explain it to you a bit later. And it is a legal obligation to have it, okay? That is really, really important to remember. So how does it work? You just have to go on the website Amélie, which is amélie-étudiant-étranger.fr, but you will have it in the presentation, so no worries. You just have to give some information about you, give the papers, and then that's it, okay? It may take a bit of time, but you will be covered at the moment when you have the certificate, and that is as soon as you have created your account. For the European citizen, all you need to know is that you need to have your European health insurance card. Once you have that, you don't need to do anything else, okay? And for the non-European citizens, just go on the Amélie website, like I have explained it before, and you will receive a provisional social security number that will help you when you go to the doctor. So how to get reimbursed, that is really interesting. So stay focused. For the European citizen, you have to go to the doctor. Well, that is for everybody. If you're sick, you go to the doctor. Then you need to go and get, at the end of the appointment, what we call une feuille de soins. It is basically an orange paper that the doctor will fill in, okay? And he has to sign it, and you will have to sign it. You show them your European card, assurance card. Oh, sorry, insurance card, European
health insurance card.
Thank you, Laure. Exactly. It's the end of the day. I'm sorry. And then once you have this paper, you will do a photocopy of this card with the document that you have proven that you have paid, and you can just send it to Amélie, to the CPAM, the closest to you, okay? For the non-European citizen, same as for the European citizen, you go to the doctor, you ask them for la feuille de soins, okay? You will have to pay first, and then all you need to give to the CPAM, so the Amélie that is the nearest from you, you just give this feuille de soins, okay? And then it will be reimbursed on your bank account that you have given to Amélie once you have applied to them. Two main things to remember. Get some money when you go to the doctor, because in both situations, you will have to pay first. Secondly, don't forget to bring your card if you have a European insurance card, or your attestation de numéro de sécurité sociale if you are a non-European citizen, okay? And then last thing, very, very important, always do a photocopy of all the documents and keep it in case it gets lost or in case you don't get any reimbursement, okay?
Okay, does everyone have a question? It's the moment, because that can be a little bit complicated at the beginning to understand. So really, about healthcare system, don't hesitate. I see a few questions.
Yeah, I see. What is the CPAM? The CPAM is basically the name of the agency of Amélie. So if you go on Google and you just write CPAM Nantes, they will give you the place where you can go and drop your document or go and ask them any question. Even if we have nothing with CPAM, I need to go to them. Okay. Bianca, so you don't have any CPAM account because you're a European, which is normal. But in case you go to the doctor, you have to pay 25 euros. You paid, they give you la feuille de soins. You can do a photocopy of the feuille de soins. You do a photocopy of your EHIC card, okay? You join them together, and then you send it to the CPM that is the closest to you with a little, sometimes they ask for a little later, oh, why do you send us something that is not from our region? And you tell them, well, I'm a student, I'm here for 3 months, I went to the doctor. You are supposed to take into account that. That is for the normal and basic medical charges. If you have to go to the hospital, for example, that will be the insurance back home that will take in charge, okay? Anna, regarding the birth certificate, do we need that for the appel or for the CAF as well? And should it be translated? Yes. So CAF and appel are the same thing, right? And you will need your birth certificate translated in French for those institutions. The name of the institution where you have to go 10 minutes before is la CAF. The CAF is the agency that will take in charge your housing benefits. So if you need to have some clarification or if you have to ask them some question face to face, sometimes it's better, then you just need to go to agency, and we recommend to come 10 minutes before so you don't have to wait longer. I have to pay the doctor even if... Yes, you have to pay the doctor even if you're a European member. Apart if Laure will give you maybe some information about that. I don't know. I'm not going to spoil anything.
That's a secret.
Need a stamp? No, you don't need any stamp. Oh, do I need a stamp as well by my certificate? Yes, the certification translation need to be stamped by an official organization. Which health insurance? Okay, Luli, you are Italian and you don't have an EIHC card. That is the law part, and she will explain you that later on. Or should I go hospital theory? How to get in contact? One other advice. So Mathilde, I'm not sure if it's going to answer your question. Always call the doctor. If it's not an emergency, call the doctor or call the hospital to ask them how much it costs and if it's reimbursed. And this way you can ask your insurance back home, or you can ask also your insurance, for example, SMENO, if it's taken into charge. Don't think, okay, I'm in France, everything is free. Yes, in theory, it is free, but you must be sure that it fits some part of your contracts. I think we have answered major question. Laure, do you see anything else?
No, I think that's okay. If you have any question, we can answer them after. So really don't hesitate. Yeah. Okay, so by insurance company advised me to go to the hospital, but it's not urgent. So if your insurance company advised you to go to the hospital, I think you should go, because that means you are going to be reimbursed really more easier. So yes, go to the hospital, but if it's not an emergency, in France, we prefer to go to the doctor instead of the hospital.
Mm-mm. Because when you go to the urgency in the hospital, it is free. But if it's just, oh, I'm coughing, and you're arriving there, then it won't be free and they make you charge. And it's not the same price as the charge that you can pay in the doctor. So just be careful of that. Which is important to know.
Okay, so now the complementary health insurance. So the complementary health insurance, it's the institution, it's us, that you can use to complete the reimbursement of Social Security. You can subscribe it as soon as you have your provisional Social Security number, not before. And we have 3 formulas. So the goal here is not to tell you to take the most expensive one if you don't need it. That's really according to your needs. If you wear glasses, if you have dental costs or stuff like this, or you have health issues and you really need to be covered, then you can go on the middle one or the most expensive one. But if you don't wear any glasses, you don't have any health trouble, then the less expensive one, that can be the better for you. Okay, so this is the difference. The middle one, and so the Mut L and the XL covers you for your glasses and for your dental costs. So that's the most difference, because in France, these cares are really expensive. So don't be surprised. And that's really according to your needs. Okay. You can do everything online, and you don't need a lot of paper. You just need your information, your name, your surname, your email, and your address in France, and your Social Security number. That's it. Okay. So this is an example just to show you how it works in France. So under your left, you have an example for a general practitioner consultation. So it's 25 euros. The social security take in charge 70% of the cost, and the 30% left are covered by the mutual, so the complementary health insurance. That's the same thing. So that's the difference. That's why it's really useful. And if you go to the hospital, the price can be really expensive, as you can see. So the social security, they can charge 80% of the cost, but the 20% left are covered by the social security, the complementary health insurance. Sorry. So this is how it works. So you go to the doctor, you show your social security. I can do it. Your social security number, yes, or your vital card, and you show your paper from your complementary health insurance. And sometimes you don't have to pay at all. Okay. So the questions.
But how can I ask for social security number? They told me that if I have an AK, I can have social. Okay, Bianca, how long are you staying in France? Because if you stay less than 2 years,
Yeah.
that is why. Laure, do you want to answer?
Yeah. So because you have the European health insurance card, you still can register on Social Security. The difference is you cannot do it online. You must go to your Social Security next to your place. I don't know where you are in France, but closer to you. And then you do all the paper on site, okay, but not online. That's the difference. But yeah, you can still do it. But the difference is that means you need to close your right in your native country to open your new in France. Okay. And
Exactly.
when you go back to your country, you have to reopen it. Okay. So this is the difference. Sorry.
Yeah, and Bianca, what is really important to remember, and Laure said it really well, don't forget to close it, because if you have a problem and you have two social security, if we can say, then everybody will just say, it's not me, it's not me. And so you will never get reimbursed. So that's really important to remember, guys. If you are asking for the Amélie one, the French one, Social Sécurité, l'assurance maladie, close the one back home. Do that only if you stay more than 6 months in France. If you stay less than 6 months and you have your European health card, keep it. Don't go and bother with other things. Just take a great mutuelle like SMENO, so you're very covered for everything.
And an example is just this slide. So if you are a European student, or if you stay a short time in France, you can choose to subscribe to a travel insurance instead of Social Security. So it's a little bit more expensive than a complementary health insurance, because this one takes in charge the Social Security part and the complementary health insurance part. So that means if you need to go to the doctor, you just have to show your insurance, and then you will automatically be paid back by the insurance. Okay, so 6 months, yeah, that's a short stay in France. Don't close your right or open some right in France if you are a European student, but you can take an insurance instead.
Yeah, and that was the question of Luli that asked, I have an Italian passport, but I don't have a European health card. So which health insurance would you recommend? That one is for you if you stay for less than 6 months. If you stay for more than 6 months, then you go on Assurance Maladie Amélie.
Okay. Okay, is that clear for everyone?
Yeah, great.
Perfect. Okay, and the last one for the road. So the public liability, what is it? It's mandatory in France too, especially for your internships. if you have any time in a company. So the public liability covers you for your daily life, for your time at school, for your internships, and for your time in association, for example. So the main goal here is to cover you in case you make any damage to someone, to something. Okay, that's why it's really useful. That's really not expensive. As you can see, it's 12 euro for the year. So it's really not expensive, but it's mandatory in France. So things are doing really fast. As soon as you are in France, just subscribe it. You can do it online and you don't need a lot of paper too. It's just your information and an address in France. That's it. And you don't need to have a French bank account too.
Exactly. I just see one question before maybe we go back on. Timea, you say, so as a European member who stay only 6 months, I don't need Amélie and SMENO.
So
Not
you
SMENO.
don't need Amélie. So Amélie is Social Security. And on SMENO, you can subscribe to the travel insurance instead of the complementary health insurance.
Exactly. And if you need anything or you just need to be protected, make sure to have at least the European health card insurance.
Yeah.
That is the minimum you need to have. Okay. So on our other tips, you will need to have a bank account for most of your administrative process or files. For some, like La Semeno, you don't need a French bank account. But for everything that goes with Amélie, or when you're going to ask for a reimbursement from Amélie Assurance Maladie, or if you're going to ask for the APL, the housing benefits, you will need a bank account. And most of the time, from all the students that I have with Dare&Go helped it, what was blocking was the bank account, especially if you're outside of the European zone. If you are from Brazil, Canada, United States, I think Costa Rica, I saw all of those countries, you need to have a French bank account to ask for any of those services. Then you will also need to think about it if you want to have an internship, if you want to work in France, if you want to have an easier way to get refund, if you have a subscription on internet. All those things need a bank account, so it should be taken in consideration for you guys. And then the phone. I know today we have internet everywhere, and especially with our mobile phone, we are able to like go to another country and connect to internet and have WhatsApp. That is really great. But the problem with that is that if there is a problem with your file, or if you have a problem during the subscription of something, or if you need to contact an institution like SMENO, we can call you with an international number, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's really great. But if you need to contact Amélie, or you need to contact the CAF for your housing benefits, with an international number, it will be much more complicated and even not possible. So having a prepaid card that costs 5 euros, or just a normal subscription at 5 euros, 2 euros with Orange for just 6 months, it will make your life easier, and you can unsubscribe to those things because you're leaving from France. So in most of the contract, just make sure of this information. But in most of the contract, if you prove to them, oh, I'm leaving France, so I don't need you guys anymore, then you can just get out of this contract without any money costing. But those are two things that is important to take into consideration. And then our last slide, that is complicated, maybe when you see it like that, but don't worry, you will have the presentation. The documents you need to have. That is often one question that we get asked. So for La SMENO, Laure, you guys are perfect. What do you need?
Nothing. No.
Exactly.
Your school certificate and your identity documents. That's it.
So that
And
is really
an
easy.
address in France, most of the case.
Of course. So that is quite easy. But then for the CAF, that is the one that will ask you the most documents. So I'm not going to tell you them again. You have it here. Just make sure that they are translated in French. For the bank, most of the time you will need your ID, your visa if you're not European student, your proof of address, again, living in France, that is really important, and your work permit if you're working. For the social security, same as CAF, more or less. I'm not going to go through all them. What is important to remember is there one? No. Yeah, your visa again and your RIB. Yeah, your banking account. That is also important in France. My advice for you, if you go for the CAF, for the housing benefits, make sure to upload all your documents online. And I know it can be a bit boring and a bit annoying, but it's always good to go and give a copy of them straight to the agency. So you are sure that both of the documents are given and your files are not lost. But if you have any question on that, we can answer it later on, or you can come and contact us on our Instagram or website.
Great.
I
We have
think
a
we're
few
good on that.
questions. Okay, so the first one is for you. So if they have a bank account for like Revolut, do they need to substitute for a French bank account?
You can try with Revolut. I have had some students that have Revolut as a bank for the Sécurité Sociale bank, for the CAF, and for Mutuelle. I think you guys at work also. Then you can try. If they say, oh, we cannot recognize your bank, then at that moment, try another bank. I don't know if it's clear, but go for it. And if they say no, then try and get a French bank account.
Okay.
Here in Brazil, or only when I have the address in France. You need to have your address in France to open your BNP Paribas bank, in any case. Laure, I think that question is for you.
Yes.
For Timea.
So repeat the major step for a European citizen with 6 months stay. Okay, insurance topic. So because you are a European student and you stay a short time in France, you don't need to register on Social Security. So you can choose a travel insurance, our Schengen insurance, that's the name, and you just need to go online. You take it the first day in France until the last day in France, and you are going to be covered during all your stay here. So that's really easy. You can do everything online and you don't need a lot of paper and everything, and you will be covered the day after your subscription. Is that clear for you? I hope so.
Kenjik, I'm very sorry if I don't pronounce it right. I think this question is way too specific for the webinaire.
Yeah.
And maybe for that type of question, we will send you an email giving all the information when we do the recap, just for information.
I write your question.
Bianca, if you change your Revolut region in France and ask for a new card, okay, that was just a tip. Bianca gave you a great tips in the chat, so you can say thank you to her. And then, Timia, do I need anything to do with CAF? If you have a house in France, an apartment in France, that you have a contract for this apartment and that you're paying a rent and that you're a student, then you can go with the CAF and ask for the housing benefit APL. For that, you just have to go on the website caf.fr and follow the step. We are not going to go deep in that right now, but you can still send us a message or scan the QR code that is on the presentation that you will have later on. But you can get some money, and the money with the APL for your housing benefit, it can go from 80 euros to 270 euros, depending on your age, your resources, the apartment in which you live, and the city where you live. Okay, so go and check that, and if you have any question, you can come back to me for that, Timia.
And mutuelle means supplementary, so complementary health insurance. That's the same thing in France. Okay.
Is there any other question? Maybe not. I think we've been quite clear, Laure.
I hope so. That's that's the main goal of this webinar. So I really hope so.
So if there's no more question, or if there's more specific question, don't worry. We can take time to answer, if we can, to your question in the chat. Just for information, so I was presenting for Dare&Go. I am the one that will be able to answer you as much as possible on the CAF subject, on the Amélie subject, and on every day-to-day life that you may have, like, oh, Ludivine, I have a trouble with my transportation. So we are based in Bordeaux, so we are very specified, like we know how Bordeaux works. But if in not you have a problem and you need some information or whatsoever, you can still contact us and we will do our best to give you the answer. And we give weekly tips on Dare&Go, our Instagram. So we give you information and stuff like that. And you can just contact us if you need anything. But for CAF, Sécurité Sociale, and day-to-day life, come to us.
And we have a question. What is CAF in few words?
Okay, CAF, it means in French, Caisse d'allocation familiale. Like CAF is, let's say, like a big tree. And on this tree, you have lots of branches that give some fruits. And the fruits is for the people to eat, which is one of the branches. It is the APL, which is the housing benefits. And it gives fruit for students to be able to eat money, basically. So, Mariana, if you have an apartment in France and you pay your rent and the contract is at your name, the government will give you some money to be able to pay your rent. To have that, you need to apply online, and then they will see if you meet all the conditions that they have, because they do have some conditions. We're not a magical money popper, I don't know how to say, but most of the time for students, even international students, you are able to get the CAF, okay?
I love your explanation. I'll keep the thing with the tree.
It's easy to understand like that.
Love it. And okay,
yes.
So do I just answer the two last questions before
go for
explain. So I need my social security number for the CAF? Yes. Can I apply for CAF, then provide them with a social security? Ludivine, that's for you.
Yes, you can apply for the CAF, for the APL, and give all the document that you have. If you are missing some document, they will send you a message and they will tell you, oh, a document that is missing. Please give us the document that is missing. And so you can give it to them afterwards. But remember that you need to apply to get the APL. So even if you're missing your numéro de sécurité sociale and you're going to do it later on, then you can still apply and give it to them later. And do I need to inform authority about change of my statute if I get? Yes, always. You need to send them the message if you change your insurance, if you go from European insurance to Social Sécurité French, the French one. If you get married, if you get with a baby, if you go and work, if you change apartment, if you leave France, all of that you always need to tell them, because they're going to recalculate all your benefits. That's it. Okay. But one question that would be good to know is that if with the mutuelle, maybe you have like a certificate that you have an insurance, and for those that doesn't have assurance maladie, that could be a good question to ask la CAF. Laure.
Okay. Yeah, I just translate the question because
how do you know if you have, I'm not sure, sorry for my German, it's quite old, but Anspruch auf CAF habe. So do you want to know if you are allowed to have CAF? I'm not sure if that's the good translation.
I can translate.
Yes, great. I'm not that old with my German. You can, on the website, on the presentation, you will have two links, one for the CAF and one for the website, and one to see if you're eligible. Okay, so you can go and do a simulation and they will tell you, yes, you are eligible, or no, you're not eligible. Mainly the reason why you're not eligible is that you have too much money. You are working in France and you have more than the SMIC, which is the minimal salary that French people can have, or you don't have an apartment that is with your contract name on it. Most of the time for a student like you guys, it is eligible, but you can still do the simulation and you will have it in the presentation that Laura is going to send you.
And if you have any question about complementary health insurance or insurances, don't hesitate to scan the QR code and our advisor will help you for all the steps. So really don't hesitate. And I forgot to tell you, sorry, that you can have 10% reduction with a code. So I just put the code on the chat and I will send you an email with the code on it. But you can use this code and you can have 10% reduction on your complementary health insurance until next September. So you can use it. It's DRI. So that's a really short code, but you can use it online or if you, I don't know, you want to call our helpers and you have all the information on the website. So don't hesitate.
And that's really important, guys, to have the great insurance or mutuelle, because sometimes you don't remember, but you lose your glasses, you go to the hospital, you get a problem. Having a good mutuelle is essential in France. So for that one that is specialized in student, it is a good deal. And with 10%, it's quite nice. For all those kind of question, I don't know if you want to stay a bit more, Laure, or we can respond. I don't know how you want to go through.
I can just keep the question and I send it to Ludivine just after, and she will contact you. So we have your email with your registration. So I think it's better for you if Ludivine contacts you. It's gonna be really easier. So
exactly,
I
because
keep
that's a specific question. But if it wasn't in France, come to me and we will speak about it.
Okay.
You're welcome, Anna.
So usually, just he says or he make with a glass of champagne, but now he's not moving, so we can just enjoy.
We can enjoy the nice face and do it for him. Mariana, yes, the webinar is recorded, and
Yes, nice.
I think Laura is going to send it to you afterwards.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. That was a really great time. It was a first for us together. So we hope you enjoyed it. And we hope to see you and talk to you later. So don't hesitate. You have all the information. We will send you the presentation just after. And we wish you a best time, a really great time in France.
Yeah.
Enjoy not.
Yeah, because most of you guys are from Nantes.
Enjoy not. So yeah, have a nice evening and see you all, I hope.
Yeah, and take care. Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.